What up, y'all? Welcome back to Yeah, I Said It, the podcast for all things sports. I'm your host, Chris. Today, y'all, we talked about Boogie, where he gonna go, baseball contracts, people getting money out here, y'all, and who's the best QB coming out in this year's draft. Next on Yeah, I Said It Sports. You know I'm your host, Chris. Got my guy Darius and Blair with me today. What up, fellas?
What up? What's good, everybody?
We got to talk about my man Boogie. My man Boogie just got cut again, y'all. He got cut from the Rocket. They want him to go younger and they want to have some of that athleticism to be on display, which is probably going to be nothing because I don't really think they got any athletic players like that. But
I think it was mutual, bro. Like
I think it was probably mutual. Yeah, I think you're right. But what do y'all think is the next move for Boogie, though?
First, I'm gonna say these boys tripping because, like you said, they say they want to go younger. They got Christian Wood. That nigga is good, but he hurt. Why let go of Boogie if he hurt right now?
Like, that's why that's why I think
it was mutual.
It's mutual, bro. Like he was going somewhere that he thought might have had a chance to at least compete for playoffs. And Houston is not even in playoff status right now, bro. Like they are in complete rebuild.
And being the fact that they benched him, he like, bro, I'm still trying to show that I still got it. So I can't do that off the bench. Even though he was still averaging like 10 points, 8 rebounds, even with the restricted minutes. Me personally, I feel like this would be a perfect time for the Lakers to go back and pick him up. Especially because them boys already like, didn't they guarantee his contract, right?
Yeah, they already paid. It was only $2 million for 2.9 or something like that.
You know, niggas ain't taking no hit. It's gonna be a cheap steal, bro. Only because, not necessarily because, you know, his defense ain't nowhere near what it used to be, but he still get them boards. He can still put the ball in the bucket. And even if without the defense, AD and LeBron can still be your defensive anchors. You know what I'm saying? Boogie can just be that size that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like he'll give you more than what you're getting out of Marcus All right now.
Oh, that's definitely the truth. Because he moving like a slug out there.
He was never exceptionally fleet of foot, though, bro. Like Marcus All was never.
That's true.
And it's worse. And it's worse.
Yeah, because you know he had
because he older, bro. He's just older.
He already had like that old man game. You know, he moved slower because he bigger. But you know, back then it was more finesse. Now it's more, nigga, I'm old. So yeah, I feel like Boogie could help them boys. I also feel like Boogie could, any top tier team, I feel like he could help. If he went to the Clippers, I feel like he could help them. He went to Boston, I feel like he could help them. Not necessarily Philly, because
I think he should go to Brooklyn.
Nah, because he don't help their defensive problem. That's just another nigga that's shooting the ball. He gonna take the ball out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, they don't need him to shoot though, so it wouldn't be a matter of shooting. It's just they need him for rebound and to stop other big dudes in the paint. Like, because DeAndre Jordan ain't gonna be able to do it. You don't think either one of them are gonna be able to do it. You just need two big bodies to throw at them, bro.
I know, but they committed to DeAndre Jordan being a starter, even if he don't play the most minutes.
Cousins ain't gonna be the star though, bro. Like,
but Boogie ain't trying to come off the bench.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
He
ain't trying to come off the bench.
Well, no, he's gonna be coming off the bench now. He's probably gonna be coming off now, bro.
Yeah, I feel like if he went to LA, he would be able to start. And most of the attention is going to be on AD until Boogie he start balling. I mean, we have no idea. Like, he can start averaging 15 points because he can eat such easy buckets. Ain't nobody going to double team him down low.
I said that because even where Boogie might lack on defense there, they still got LeBron and AD and Schroeder them niggas gonna play defense. Versus if he go to Brooklyn, their problem is defense. They don't matter rebounds or not. They don't need that shit because them boys can get 120 points a game if they need to. They need somebody who can stop some damn body.
I think the only thing that will hold up Boogie from going to LA is if somehow, because rumors were that they were trying to get DeAndre Drummond. There were rumors that they were trying to get
Andre Drummond.
Yeah, Andre Drummond. It was rumors that they were trying to get Andre Drummond.
Who, the Lakers?
The Lakers were, because at first the Cavs, they were saying like nobody had any interest in Andre Drummond, and they might end up just cutting him and letting him go wherever he wanted to go. But then it came out the reports where they got like 8 to 10 teams that's interested. So basically, they're just bidding because the man was averaging 20 and 15. Like, why would you want to trade him? You know why? Because we want to go younger, and they want to give Jared Allen more opportunities to play. And he is capitalizing on his playtime. The other night, he had like 26 and 15 or some stuff like that. Like he's doing his thing.
But see, that's the thing. At a certain point, they have to make that choice.
They have to make the choice.
Let the young dude get his legs wet.
Yeah, and if it's looking like, because the way Jared Allen is trending, it's like, bro, nigga, I can get it out of him right now. Why am I paying you $60 million?
This is true.
If I can just get it out of this nigga, and like you said, he the young dude, he got more legs, he gonna be able to sustain this for longer.
They get more everything, dude. Their contracts are smaller, they got better energy. And if it's a similar, y'all are similar players, you like 6 years older, you can get that up, man.
Yeah, I think that at this point right now, I just feel like DeAndre is a better scorer, but defensively, they equal. I think I'm sure Allen might be a little bit better defender, to be honest with you, because he's a better shot blocker.
I definitely think Allen is the better defender. Now, one thing Drummond gonna do, he gonna be on that glass. So the Lakers might not be a bad move. That take pressure off of AD. He ain't got to pound the glass because Drummond gonna pound that bitch, and he can start. One of them gonna have to play the 5. Drummond will probably be willing to play the 5.
And that also goes back to the
Drummond plays the 5 though, right? Like he plays the 5.
He plays the 5. Yes, he does, and he plays it very well.
That's a tough matchup, bro. You got AD and AD in the paint. That would be crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
That would be nuts. But what would you have to give up to get him? Or if they cut him, which I don't think they are, I think somebody's going to try to trade for him. But if they cut him and you sign Boogie already, well, if you get him from the league minimum, you're going to have to get rid of somebody to be able to get in DeAndre. Because just like they're going to sacrifice somebody. Yeah. So in a trade, yes, I think they will.
2 years, bro. To sign Drummond for 2 years, they'll sacrifice Kuzma's career, man.
Oh yeah, I believe that too.
And they'll give up other little buddy. What's my man? The nigga who's just everybody was like he just came out of nowhere.
Oh
for the
yeah,
Lakers.
Yeah.
I give both of them for Andre. You can have them. You can have them.
I would too. I wouldn't blame you. I don't blame you. But speaking of a little bit
for what he gonna bring.
Yeah, I don't think they got to pay him much. But you know who do get paid though right now? Fernando getting his money. Getting his money. When they say show me the money, they showed that man the money today. Man, they paid my man. He signed a 14-year, $340 million contract. The man is 22 years old. Can you imagine if you was 22 years old and like, yeah, I got $340 million coming my way over the next 14 years. I'm good. And the thing about baseball is all his money is guaranteed. So if he broke his leg and lost 4 of his toes and he couldn't run no more, he's still getting paid for 14 years.
Yeah, but baseball get that money.
Yes. My question is, 1, should they be allowed to sign people for this long? And 2, is this a good idea, you feel like, right now to pay this young man this long of a contract and this amount of money?
All right.
For the team, not for him, for the team. Yeah, I know it's good for him. I'll take $340 every day.
Right. Okay. So does he? You want to know? Does he deserve? What's the first question again?
Oh, the first part, should they be allowed to sign people for this long?
Oh, and was it a good decision?
Like, should there be I should phrase it differently. Should they be allowed to have 14-year contracts, or should they be a limit to like 10 or 7 years?
I think in baseball, it doesn't matter as much because their money structure is set up totally different than other sports because there's no salary cap in baseball. It really doesn't matter how they sign the dudes. They're not signing contracts that are at disadvantage disadvantage to the club. So even they gave him 14 years, 340 million. If you think about it in terms like this, most of the time they give a dude a 10-year contract. It's usually on the back part of his career, where he may be worth the money for the first 1 to maybe 3 years, but a lot of times towards the end, he ain't worth that money. That's why they move the dudes around so much. So the same thing happened with A-Rod when he was at the end of his 10-year career. Pujols, the same thing. Like, Pujols is not doing bad, but he signed a 10-year deal too. But he was at the end. So I feel like they got ahead of the curve by signing him early, because at least they should get good years of baseball out of him. Like, they should get a comparable value for what they paid for. Because a lot of the dudes, the way baseball is set up, is you don't get paid until most dudes. Like, he's special. He's the son of a baseball player already. So I feel like they fast-tracked him through. Maybe because they know the dad knows the system, so you don't play with, what do they call them, like legacy kids. You don't play with those kids like you would play with somebody who wasn't in baseball. So I think he's good. I also think they fast-tracked him, but I feel like the production they're going to get out of him, at least they're going to pay him for it. Like, baseball is set up. These dudes usually don't get paid till they're like 27, 28, because you got to play so many years in the actual pro part of baseball, the 6 years of service before you can become a free agent. So most of them don't become free agents till 27, 28. And that's when they get the stupid big contract, sometimes for a couple of years. Sometimes you get 2 or 3. But it doesn't seem like he wanted the whole thing, because it's not like he should have felt bad for him, because, again, there's no salary cap. So in baseball, you ask for what you can. Your deal of it, I feel like that's the best way they've decided to give out giant contracts and still not completely kill the organization. Their money comes, bro. Like, they come from all them baseball games they play. People come to those games. You can have 2-3 games a day and all of them can sell out. Like, that's how baseball is. So I don't think the contract length is a question because there's no salary cap. I feel like it's just what you think you can get. Now, if he went for 450 and 14 years, there's no real difference. It's just, I don't think he wanted all that. He didn't want all of it. He wanted an amount that says this is good. His whole family is set. His dad played a long time ago, so I don't think his dad probably got money the same type of money was not in baseball then that it is. Now, he had enough money probably to be comfortable where he lives, but they still could have money issues. But with this, that all goes away, especially in the Dominican Republic, bro. It just disappears. Like, they shouldn't want. It depends on how big the actual family is, because they are family first. They still believe that everybody can be a part of the family. So it just depends on how big his family is. When he said his brother had an input in the money, which, why would you care about what your little brother has to say? He ain't playing baseball at all. And if he was, bro, go get your own contract. He actually cares about what his little brother had to say about the deal. So I feel like they just wanted a number that was good. It didn't have to be the most. It just had to feel good to them. They say he was under contract until what? Till he was 24. So he still had like 3 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
I feel like they just got it out the way now. He's not the dude that's going to try to chase rings. He wants to win one there. So why not sign a long contract there?
Yeah, I think San Diego giving him this contract is a good idea. Should they be allowed to sign a 14-year contract? If they want to sign the 14 years, I think that you should. I think it should be the same thing in basketball, football, anything. If it should not be a limit, and it shouldn't be a limit to how much money you can make. To be honest with you, I don't think that the salary cap has done anything but hurt the players in this instance that play the game. But Francisco was definitely worth it. He had 39 home runs, 98 RBIs last season. Like he's
dude numbers was like top 10 or top 5 in the league in like every category that matters for what he does.
He's a beast. And the only two players that's making more money than him is Mookie Betts and Mike Trout. Mike Trout is the man. But yeah, I mean,
Betts, bro.
Yeah, so is Mookie Betts. I know Mookie Betts.
He deserves drop of that money.
That and Mookie Betts just won the World Series. So I think now that he has his money, I hope he doesn't start to feel the pressure to live up to the contract. Like, I got to get us a World Series. I got to get, you know what I'm saying? Because that type of pressure
in baseball can't take you to the World Series, kind of money. Bro.
Say that again.
One man in baseball cannot take you.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
no matter how good you individually are, one man is not doing it in baseball, bro, at all.
Mike Trout knows. Shit, Bryce Harper knows.
Right, Strasburg know. Like they do. They know. One man can't do it. No matter what his numbers are, he can't win them a championship alone. You'd be better off getting a pitcher than an outfielder, bro. To win you a championship, you're better off with a pitcher than an outfielder.
Mm-hmm.
And I want Buddy is that deal, but he can't win it alone. So unless and that's the thing. What makes their contract so beautiful is like when they get tired of these dudes, they just get rid of them. They'll move you in your $145 million contract to another team like it's nothing.
Because it don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Because your contract is your contract. That's what you get paid. It doesn't matter to them. That's why markets matter a lot in baseball. But even then, doesn't guarantee you're going to win because you're a large market team. It gives you a better chance. I won't lie. It does give you a better chance, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to win.
Well, I'm going to say, first off, shout out to all the baseball players because y'all niggas out there getting to the money. So that's why I say I agree with what y'all said. Like, bro, as long as they paying you the money, bro, hey, sign for however long you want to sign for. If they gonna give you the money, and like you say, it's guaranteed money.
If they go get what you want.
Yeah, why? Who am I not to take it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's not like how we was talking earlier. It's not like that slave deal that Scottie Pippen signed. You know what I'm saying? Child Scottie Pippen, you know what I'm saying? But bro, yeah, 14 years. If they think you're gonna play 20 years, if you feel like you can do it, if they paying you the money for it, go ahead and sign. That's how I feel. Like, as long as you getting compensated for what they asking you to commit to, I don't see no problem with you signing the deal. I definitely feel like Buddy was worth it, bro. Like, one thing that's hard to miss on is be these baseball players, bro. Like, cause in baseball they don't do but so much. You know, it's a slower game. These jumps can drag out. You know what I'm saying? Them boys, they start with 9 innings. Them boys can play a whole nother 9 innings. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a dude out
they
here,
can play 3 games in a day.
Yeah, so if it's a dude out here who, hey, nothing don't get past him on first base, or hey, if he in the outfield or that ball getting ran down, or 7 times, well, 4 times out of 10 or 3 times out of 10 or close to it, he is contacting and hitting that ball and producing. That junk ain't hard to, it's hard to miss it. It's hard to miss it, bro. So I don't think they miss too much on these baseball players when they give them these contracts.
I feel like some of them they do, some of them they don't. I don't think they will for him, though, because he got too much. It's too much baseball in him. Like, this dude knows how to play at the pro level because Dad did it. And apparently he was very successful at it because I think Dad had a long career, too. So it's not that he doesn't know what baseball is.
And I feel like they got him like at the right time. 22, like you said, he come from a baseball background. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You 22, you got your money. Now all you got to do is focus on baseball. You paid. Like you done signed your name on the line. You
He
paid.
secured the career money, the one that's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
have to.
If I go down tomorrow, am I taken care of? Yes. All right. So now, like that frees my mind up. I don't got to worry about whether I get signed to another team or not. Because guess what? My money's still gonna come. So I feel like they caught him like in that right moment. Versus when you catch a dude, like Blair said, most of these dudes don't even get their money till they 27, 28. You gonna
For real, dude. That's real, man. It's so crazy in baseball.
You thinking about a whole lot more at that point, I feel like. Versus he got his money young. He already kind of know the game. Like I said, because of the baseball background, he got his money young. He good. He can just worry about his craft. They gave him a reason to keep being great, man.
Yeah. And I also, to be honest with you, I feel like he renegotiates before this contract is over. If he's still balling, I think he's going to renegotiate again.
If they win, now if they do what they supposed to do and put the teams around, if they put the team around him, because like Blair said, unless you're a pitcher, it's gonna be hard to just put a team on your back. Because at least if you
carry them dudes for 8 games,
and
one every 5 or so.
At least
you pitch like once or twice a week. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, and then like Blair said, shoot, you got to have a whole strong bullpen. You can't just have
one
Randy Johnson and that's it. Or shoot, he gonna have to have Tommy John surgery in 2 years and shit gonna be it.
Then it's over. We got to talk about a little bit of football. With the NFL draft coming up April 29th. Just a side note, man, Darius, remember last year we was going to travel to the drafts and go to Vegas? That trip was going to be fire.
For my birthday, man.
Man.
It was going to be lit.
It was going to be lit in a motherfucker, boy.
Y'all was going to the draft.
Yeah. We was going to the draft.
But guess what?
I didn't know nothing about this.
Guess what?
You did. Effing tell you about it.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, the coronavirus shut us down. Yeah,
it ruined everything.
Yeah, the corona shut us down.
The draft was during my birthday weekend.
It would have been great. And I was talking about that with my wife. It would have been
Blair,
awesome.
we know you was gonna be able to go. We know it wasn't gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, what you mean, Vegas?
Whether I can go or not is never
with the fellas?
I just need to know. I need to know what's up. I just need information. They never that type of life, bro. No, hilarious.
We definitely setting up the trip. We was definitely setting up the trip.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I didn't even know y'all was talking about that.
Oh yeah, we was definitely setting up the trip to go. And the wife was even told, and the funny thing, the messed up part about it is the wife was even telling me like, oh yeah, whatever room y'all was gonna get, I was gonna upgrade you when you got there. I was like, say what? She's like, yeah, I'm like, man, don't tell me that.
It was crazy because my old lady was like, that's a great idea. Y'all need to go.
Exactly. I'm like, you gonna upgrade us? She said yes. I'm like, wow, I feel even worse. I don't know if they are going to allow any fans this year into the draft. I don't think they are. They're not even having the combine like normal. So
it should be the same as they did this last year.
Yeah, pretty much. But the draft is April 29th. That is on a Thursday. It's going to end on May 1st. But today we're going to start out with the quarterbacks. We're going to do we're not really going to evaluate them just yet. We're just going to give who we feel the best quarterbacks are in this draft. There's a lot of opinions on it. Some people feel like Zach Wilson is the best quarterback, which I am highly against. But I'm not going to start. But you got Mac Jones, you got Justin Fields, you got the quarterbacks we all know. So right now, give me your top 4 to 5 quarterbacks that you got right now going into the NFL Draft 2021?
I got Trevor Lawrence.
I might know just for a fact.
I got
That's all
Trevor
you
Lawrence.
need.
I got Trevor Lawrence at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of toss up. I feel like 2 and 3 they interchangeable. But if I gotta pick a 2, I'm gonna put Justin Fields right now. And then I feel like he and Mac Jones is interchangeable. I'm not really sold on Buddy from BYU, but after them, I feel like after them 3 quarterbacks, it's kind of a toss up. I do got him at 4, and then at 5, I got Buddy from Florida, the quarterback from Florida.
Nobody's actually even talking about him.
That's I know, but I like him, bro. I like him. Now he can make a mistake here or there, but all these quarterbacks do. So except for maybe Jones, he the only one who like was crazy. But then again, with that whole thing, I know a lot of people feel like Trevor Lawrence shouldn't be number 1, but I'm like, bro, that's where the history of where these quarterbacks come from go into play. Mac Jones gonna always get a nod because even though Alabama quarterbacks don't really pan out like that,
the Florida quarterback you were talking about is Kyle Trask. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I remember that name.
Yeah. But the reason these Alabama quarterbacks be getting the nod all the time is because of the offense that they run. Even though they done transition more to a spread, now still a pro-style offense. So they gonna feel like them quarterbacks gonna be more NFL ready as far as the stuff that they gonna see. Now versus Ohio State quarterback, I feel like they don't pan out good neither. But these dudes always be crazy, skilled, and athletic, bro. All the way back to Troy Smith. Like these dudes always be crazy skilled. But they have so many skilled players around them. When you go to an Alabama or Ohio State, everybody look good. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the skilled players carry more of the brunt of that than the quarterbacks do. Trevor Lawrence, he's like a prototypical dude. Like, I don't feel like Clemson had the best receivers this year or necessarily last year. But I feel like he's definitely a good number 1, especially if you want to get like a prototypical size quarterback. I'm definitely taking him over them because he's taller. His deep ball, I still feel like it's questionable, but I feel like he can build up arm strength. You know what I'm saying? They can make him stronger.
What you got, Blair? Which you got?
Mine is questionable, bro. I'm gonna tell it to you straight like this. It's hard for me to believe in any quarterback that comes out of college, dude, because most of those dudes pan out as trash. Like an entire draft can be garbage. And they'll talk about how all this draft is filled with all these great quarterback talents, and like one dude might make it from the 3rd round. Like, because I'm still not understanding what they put on quarterbacks that they get it so wrong. Like, how do they get it when they whiff on a quarterback, they whiff, bro. Because those dudes are either hit or miss. Like, there's other positions on the field that you could be like, he ain't as great as we thought, but he might not be as bad as we thought, or we can coach him up. But as a quarterback, bro, like they come out with these dudes just like the next incarnation of some guy, and they supposed to be this dude, and they can make every throw. And then the dude is like a bench player by like year number 3 in the league. Like, this dude doesn't start anywhere, it takes so much time, and for quarterbacks, the information overload is way higher, I think, than a lot of other positions. But just the problems that I feel, so I don't even know. I would say it seems to be that if the ones that pan out are the ones that went to some okay school, the receiving talent wasn't that great. You know, that was the question mark on could the dude be that great in the league, because you couldn't quite see it because his skill level for the receivers that he had at his college just wasn't the best in the league. I think that's why a lot of Alabama dudes fail, just because their team is filled with such good guys. No one dude has to carry anything at Alabama. Whereas in some of these colleges and universities where these dudes come from, where like Lamar Jackson, like you knew Lamar Jackson, he was that guy. You didn't really know anybody else on that team. Just Lamar Jackson. And that's where a lot of them come from. So I think in that regard, the BY dude, the Zach Wilson dude, may be number one. I can't say I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is really going to be that guy. The BYU, what's that? Zach Wilson. Wilson is the one they said he has everything except for the height of Trevor Lawrence. And maybe that's why they're just saying he's not going to be that good, because Trevor Lawrence was anointed as the dude. And a lot of times when it comes to quarterback, once they pick you as the dude, they pick you as the dude for like your entire, that whole year. Like Trevor Lawrence has been the dude for like 3 years.
Yeah.
He's been the guy that everybody was just waiting and watching mature, and he's supposed to be the next coming of something. Now, it would be nice if he was. So I would say, I don't know, because Clemson's team is not the best team, but they're not bad either. And if you can compete with LSU and Alabama, dude, your team don't suck. You have enough good players on your team that you can compete with those dudes. So if it was like his numbers were comparable to other dude numbers and dude had way less talent, I would go with Wilson. And then I would go with Trevor Lawrence. And I would go with not Justin Fields. He might be my number 4. Who's the other dude I'm thinking
Look at this sad face.
What face? I missed it. I was thinking. Chris made a sad face when I said not.
No, just like
Chris looked like
he couldn't hide it. I felt it. You know he couldn't hide it. Like not just
looked like threw a spear through his heart just now.
Because that was the only name at the time I could.
But I expected it though. That's the funny part. I expected. I'm like,
expected it from you.
See, the thing is, I'm not against running quarterbacks or people that's a part of your game, but I prefer you be more accurate than a run. Like, I'm cool if you need to take off periodically, but if you running the football is a part of your football profile, that is going to come back and bite you in the ass later on in your career, yo. That's not something that's sustainable for an entire career. It's just not. Look what happened to Cam, bro. It's the same thing's going to happen to Lamar. Lamar's a big dude, and he's in great shape. But you can't keep getting wanged on like that for your whole career. It shortens your career.
Crazy thing is, the only person we've really seen manage it the best that they can is Russell Wilson. And he just came out and was like, bro, I'm tired of getting hit.
But see, Russell Wilson, he got hit a lot just because his line sucked. Like, if his line wasn't so bad and he got hit from the other stuff, you don't feel that I'm tired of getting hit. It's only when you feel like these dudes in your face every play and you scrambling and running for your life for the last 5 years, like, oh, God, I can't. And then 5 years later, you older, bro, you realize this is not sustainable for a career. I can't get hit this much and sustain a good career.
Yeah, I feel like he probably just done did it the best, even with how much he was getting hit.
He was, and he didn't take direct hits. The dudes that don't want to just be the I'm going to run you over dude, they tend to last a little longer. But running quarterbacks in general wear down faster than pocket quarterbacks. So I feel like it's not the reason I didn't say, because Justin Fields is like a running quarterback. And while Lamar made it, I don't consider Justin to be like a pocket dude that can run, because that's the difference. A pocket quarterback that can scramble versus a scrambling quarterback, those are two different things. And he didn't show me enough in the championship game against really stiff competition. And if you measure most of the colleges, they measure everything based on Alabama for a reason, because they have the most pro-ready dudes on their team. And he got it. He just was not. He didn't look great in that game. Now, he did get whammed like the week before, so his ribs probably still kind of sketchy. But again, that's a thing that happens when you run. Look what happened to Drew Brees. Yeah, he old and he turned into paper mache bones, but look what happened to Drew Brees the last 2 years, bro. Yeah, they turned into paper mache bones. He just getting hurt all the time. But look what happened to him the last 2 years. Dude had the cracked rib. Look what that did to Aaron Donald. What'd you say?
He got hit and broke his whole rib cage.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That means you're slightly fragile, bro. Now, I will say, you can get a rib injury. Aaron Donald got one when Russell Wilson just so happened to sit on him in the wrong area, bro, on that sack. That's literally what it was. He just hit the tip of some bone at the right angle, and his rib was toast. And he was not the same the following week. So I will say he was hurt. But that poses a problem when you got hurt in college because you're a running quarterback. That's always the thing about being a run. You can get hurt anytime. Mike Vick was the same way, bro. Lamar has sustained it pretty well so far, but you let him do what he's doing for another 3 or 4 years. He about to start getting hurt too. So those are I put Justin Fields at 4, and that's my order. I couldn't think of buddy that I wanted to put at 3, but it wasn't Justin Fields. Not Trask. It was
I say Mac Jones.
That's the one. Yeah, Mac Jones. I would say Mac Jones would be more of a consistent. At least this dude can understand the situation, and the game's not too fast for him. Like if you play with Devontae Smith, and you can keep up with that and everything else that's going on, the game's not too fast for him. The dude is faster than everybody else out on the field.
I respect that. I like the beginning of your take saying that you really can't trust any of these quarterbacks because you're like, I'm not for sure on any of these quarterbacks, because a lot of the times I feel the same way. And I feel like a lot of the times, like they're already doing, a lot of people are elevating the quarterback because they're like, oh, you need a quarterback. Not necessarily. Not if I ain't got no offensive line. I don't think I should get a quarterback, especially not a rookie one with no offensive line.
Not a really, really good one.
No.
It's going to ruin them.
It's just going to ruin them. So what's the point of getting a quarterback if he ain't going to be any good anyway? So right. I like that take. I agree with it. But to my point of who is the best quarterback in this draft. So Darius feels that 2 and 3 are interchangeable. I feel 1 or 2 is interchangeable.
Probably.
Not just because of I'm a Buckeye fan, but I think Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields are 1A and 1B.
Oh, you mean
1
and
1A?
Okay.
Yeah, I think those two are interchangeable. Just because I understand what you're saying, like in big games, a lot of people got to step up and do their thing against the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the Clemsons. A lot of they've had a lot more pros go out of Clemson's defense that are been, that's been going to the NFL lately in the past couple years. So yeah, so you gotta put them on that level as well. But as far as the performances of Lawrence when he played LSU last year, he did not look good. When he played against Ohio State this year and last year, when he played against Ohio State last year as well, in those first 3 quarters, he looked terrible. But he turned something on where he was like, look, I'm gonna have to run and do something because I don't have any receivers open. I gotta be able to open it up. We can't really run the ball. I gotta do something. And he showed me a lot with that performance. That one performance sticks out in my mind, but the performances that he's had previously, after that, even after that, it hasn't been very good. But I felt like this year was like, I'm gonna just play just good enough to get to the championship. And then when he got to play Ohio State again, it was just too much. He got overwhelmed, even though he still played very well. He still played pretty decent. But it just didn't look that way. When you look at the numbers, like, man, you did your thing. It's just he went there and he didn't have anybody to come with him. He came to the game ready to play and nobody else came with him.
Tell him to blame his coach.
He can blame his coach if he want to. Justin Fields, I feel like a lot of people are docking him for the season that they had where Ohio State had a lot of stop and starts. That's why I'm really not putting a lot of stock in what the season, I know this is about to be surprising, but the season that like your Michigans or Penn State or any of them had, because they played 6 games too. A lot of the games you think you're about to play and then it gets canceled. So now you got to sit yourself back down. You got to study for the next game if you can play. So like that's a lot to deal with. And a lot of people are docking Justin Fields for the games he played. I felt like he started to press and he started to win. Like he even said it himself. He said, I tried to win the Heisman Trophy every throw I was making because I was killing it. He was dogging. And if you look at his numbers, he still completed more passes this year. He had a better completion percentage this year than he actually had last year. He was 70% completion percentage this year, and last year he was 67. And last year he was balling. He had 41 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. This year he had 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 6 games. 6 or 7 games. He's the man. I feel like they've been compared their whole lives. I feel like it's another thing where, you know, you're hearing about the great kid or the great quarterback across the way, and it's just like John Elway and Joe Montana. I feel like it's that type of thing. But
you think those dudes are going to be on that level?
I think that eventually, I think it depends on a lot on, because I'm a person that it depends a lot on the team that you go with. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it depends on the team that you go with. What is the goal of the team? Is the goal of the team to make you better?
But think about it. Both of these dudes is gonna go to, if they go the top two quarterbacks, they're gonna both go to busted ass teams. Like somebody gonna go to the Jets, somebody might go to the Jaguars. So either way, they're gonna be in a busted ass team.
And that's my thing. I feel like a lot of teams build teams the wrong way. Like I feel like if you're going to select a young quarterback and you know you need one, sit them for a year if you know your offensive line is busted. I don't understand that. Like that. I don't think that's a good way to build teams.
Most of the time, the thing is just most of the time when you top 10 in the draft, that's not what we drafted you for.
They expect you for the immediate change. Yeah, but that's the thing as a quarterback.
Do the top of the top. And I agree. Now I agree with what you're saying now. Like, I don't care, like what Blair was saying, I don't understand how they evaluate these dudes, bro. Like the mental, like all we hear about is hand size. Oh, he's 6'5". Oh, he's 6'6", so we can see over to these linemen. This is supposed to be the general of your football team. How does he process information? Should be the number one thing on your board. I don't give a fuck if he throw ducks every time. Did he process all the information good enough to where his duck was going in the right place, but maybe some other shit happened and the shit got intercepted? Because if he can't process this shit, I don't care if that nigga can throw this shit to the next football field.
It don't matter. Yeah, none of that matters.
I feel like that these two dudes are interchangeable because I feel like they both have the talent. Now, after that is where I gotta say something. So I've been watching Todd McShay and I've been looking at Mel Kiper, and Mel Kiper had the same point I've been screaming at my TV. He's saying Zach Wilson is the second best quarterback in his draft, and I'm trying to figure out how and what is he looking at. And he's saying his escapability and his playmaking ability sets him apart. So I think it's, I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft, and I feel like the Jets are going to draft him number 2 and blah, blah, blah. The playmaking ability came against defenses that none of these dudes are going to be in the NFL. None of these dudes have that kind of capability for the most part. You're not playing against defensive linemen that's going to be playing on Sundays. So I really can't evaluate Zach Wilson on that type of level. The games that I've seen him play, he's been balling out, but I don't have him as my third best quarterback. I see other guys that are better than him.
Your second best quarterback? You don't even have him as your third.
No, but he's not my third. I have him as my fourth. My third best quarterback, a lot of people have Trey Lance. I have Mac Jones. I have Mac Jones as my third best quarterback. He showed me a lot. He showed me that he can process information very fast. At this point in this juncture, I haven't gone through all the tape because that's what I do every year. I go through all the tape, pour through all the tape, start to look at old games, see what his weaknesses are. I think he's a lot like Joe Burrow in how he processes information and how he relates that to the field. But it's something to be said to the fact that you couldn't get on the field at Alabama that whole time. I understand that you had Tua in front of you, and you've actually had better numbers this season than Tua did. But that does say a lot. So I factored that in a little bit. But I like Mac Jones at number 3. I have Zach Wilson at number 4. And number 5, I have Kyle Trask. I had Kyle Trask as number 3 for a long time as my third best quarterback until I saw the game against Cincinnati. And I don't know if he mailed it in.
Talking about the championship game?
Yeah, I don't know. No,
I mean, the bowl game?
Yeah, the bowl game.
Only reason, I mean, he played bad, but I got to cut him a little slack.
Because a lot of his receivers.
Yeah, a lot of his team opted out. So,
yeah,
it make it rough.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not like crapping on him. Like, yeah, he's like the 10th best QB in this draft. Nah, I'm gonna say he's number 5 right now. But I do see a lot of talent in him and a lot of things that he can do. And looking at this, I'm going through a mock draft that I see here right now. They have Trevor Lawrence going number 1 as the best quarterback. Zach Wilson number 2 and Justin Fields number 3. Yeah, but
I feel like if none of these quarterbacks pan out the way they think they're gonna be, Mac Jones gonna have the longest career.
Yeah, because he'll go to a better team.
Consistent dude. Yeah.
Because he goes to a better team.
Quarterback for Alabama, they usually like somebody will keep one of them around because they know there's like a system quarterback. So even if they don't be starting, they usually be on somebody's bench. Or we'll put you in if some shit happen now because we know you can manage a game. I feel like it would be rougher on some of these other quarterbacks. Like if Trevor Lawrence don't pan out, it's gonna be rough for that fella to get another.
Whoever goes in the top 10, they're gonna get fried if they don't pan out, no matter what.
Oh yeah, when you get drafted in the first round, they get fried.
And that's the thing, man. It's like I don't know how every year there's this stud dude coming out of college at quarterback, and then they don't. Like I like, what are y'all looking at? What do y'all gauge? What y'all think a great player is based on? Like I don't get that. I don't understand, especially for quarterback, because most other positions you can clearly see that dude's just better than everybody else. What do they gauge quarterbacks on? I swear, if you look at the last, 10, 15 years of quarterbacks that Todd McShay and Mel Kiper picked, I mean, them dudes still doing anything in the league.
It's like quarterbacks, to me, it's like, hey, it's either going to be one good quarterback out this draft or it's going to be a full cluster. That's usually how they fall.
Yeah.
Like Ben got drafted. Who's who? Ben, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. Yeah, this last little class, you have what? Like Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Lamar Jackson. Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen. A lot of them boys came in together. Other than that, it usually, like I said, it'd be like a quarterback here and there. I feel like we just had like that little Baker Mayfield and that little group that just came out. I feel like that was the last group. So I feel like, yeah, this is going to be rough for this group. Especially,
it's going to be a minute before it's just a cluster of dudes that come out and kill, man.
Especially, I feel like this is going to be the year that somebody on the player side is going to benefit from this being a COVID year. Somebody on the NFL side is going to get fucked because it was a COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be based on what we saw. That's all you can base it on. So, like, a couple of them Ohio State players might get off. It'd be like, shit, they only had 6 games this year, but shit, they made it to the national championship. That shit worth something.
Right. And college is one of those, what have you done for me recently things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they'll look at your body of work, but they'll omit, like, trash years you had just because you had one good year at the end. Yeah. They do it all the time.
Only teams probably going to be omitted from that is Alabama and Clemson because they pretty much played full season. And probably just Alabama because they're going to give them benefit because they're going to be like, you played an all-SEC schedule.
Well, see, that's probably why they're giving Zach Wilson the thing because he played like 2 more games than Alabama did. Yep. So he has a large enough body of work for this year to show that even with COVID and everything that was going on, dude still did his job.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. That's gonna wrap it up for us today. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Continue to like, share, subscribe. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate your comments. I appreciate your calls that I get. My guy Ralph, I appreciate you for calling me when you have a question or an opinion, because you're driving your trucks, and that's all good. And I did see your comment that you left. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate everybody for continuing to watch. When you're watching it, please subscribe. It helps us out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this coming month, hopefully. I know it's a lot of subscribers. Yes, I'm being ambitious because
and run that thing up, man.
Run it up. Subscribe, watch it, comment, talk to us. You know, we'll talk back. We'll be in the comments with you.
Be scared, nigga.
You know, anytime. But we holler at y'all. Till next time.
Peace.